Okay, let's see here. Okay, so this is going to be a non-chat live show. So there's no chat. I'm just recording. So y'all know that on last week, well, what day is today? Today's Saturday. Wednesday, we did this Smackin'Dragon journal. Let me adjust the lighting here. Up this. All right. Make some light here. Let there be light. Okay. So last Wednesday, we went through this whole journal and did Smackin'Dragon. We did ink, we smacked, we dragged, and did pretty much every third page or so, smacking and dragging in this journal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record at least this video to announce what I'm doing. Maybe pictures the rest of the week. I don't know. Let's see. I got to lighten this up just a little here, guys. You always have to adjust when you first come on. And what I'm going to do is show you how I'm going to work in this journal all weekend. We live close to the Atlanta Speedway, big race in town, lots of traffic. So let me get a sip of my coffee. So we don't usually get out much on the weekend of the races. So what I thought I'd do is I would work in this journal throughout the weekend and show you what I did in it. Of course, I can't talk as soon as I come on. It takes me a minute to get my voice going here. All right, so it's already getting a little fluffette. Here it's getting a little fluffy. And this is just one of the inexpensive journals from, let me turn on another light here, guys. This is just one of those inexpensive journals from Hobby Lobby. Like, I think I spent $3 or $4. And so I won't go through the whole Smackin'Dragon process because I did that on Wednesday. But what I want to do now is any other pages, I want to start playing in it. And then throughout the weekend, I'm going to draw, sketch, maybe collage, doodle. I don't know yet exactly. This is just the plan to spend the weekend with my Smackin'Dragon ink journal. I wish you guys are here to laugh with me. Okay, so what I'm doing on the pages that I did not put anything on, I'm taking some black acrylic paint, and these might end up being collaged pages. They might be, I might doodle on something, and I don't know. We're going to see how it goes. So I'm just going to show you how I'm starting to finish filling in. So I'm going to spend probably a couple hours filling in any blank pages. So first thing I'm doing is every page that doesn't have color on it, you know, like every third page or whatever, I'm starting by putting some black acrylic paint, just plain old craft paint. Gonna dry it. So this is something to do when you're stuck in the house for the weekend. Or anytime, really. You don't have to do it all in a weekend. I don't know how far I'm going to get in it. This is just my plan. We'll see how it goes. So I'm going to dry the acrylic paint. Then I have a variety of inks, the same variety of inks that I had when we did the Smackin'Dragon. I've got dilution spray. So you can see I've already been working on it this morning. See my hands? I have some Liquitex. I have FW, these acrylic inks. So I just have some different inks to play with. I got to brighten this up, guys. It looks really dark. I don't know why. There we go. Okay. So what I did on these couple of pages here is I took, hang on, guys, it still looks fuzzy. I don't know. Let's refocus here, maybe. There we go. So I took some of these inks, I sprayed them, splotted them, sprayed them with some water, closed the book, just mushed on some inks on top of the black. Like this. This one already had the Smackin'Dragon. Here's where I put some black on here and then mushed on some. Let's do another yellow one because that looks pretty good. Like you could do some bumblebees. So I just took some ink like this, just, you know, a little bit of ink. sprayed it with a couple sprays of water, and then just mushed it. So now it's a Smackin'Dragon mushing book. And then just kind of mush those pages together just to get the ink going all over the page. If that's not enough color, I think that's enough for this page. I want some black and yellow. All right, so now I'm going to dry this. If it doesn't dry fast enough for you, take a Kleenex or a baby wipe and just start smearing it around. The idea is not to make anything yet. It's just to have all your pages filled so you can color, draw, sketch, collage, whatever you want to do. So it's going to dry this. And you want to dry them fairly well so you don't have your pages sticking together when you come back. You don't want to come back and have your pages all stuck together, although there's ways to fix that too, but. Okay, so there we go. That's all, that's it. This one's already got something on. If you want to add more, you can. Or you can, when you go to work on the page, if you want more color, more whatever. Here, let me just show you a little bit here. There's a little bit of blue ink on there. Let's just put a little bit of blue on there. Let's just kind of wet it and smash it. So now you got now we got a butterfly. Yeah, okay. All right, so let's go ahead and dry this. It's got quite a bit right there in the center. Let's get some of that out. And you could always take a little, let's add a little black splatter. Here, let me get a brush out of my water right here. You could add some splatters. And then it's ready to do whatever you want to do on it. Let's dry that. So I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm going to make, we'll see how many videos I make. I at least want to show you where I'm going with it this weekend. Maybe I'll take some pictures. I don't know. Maybe I'll make a video or two. But I just want them to be kind of short videos just so you get the idea where we're going with it. And I wasn't going to record this part. And I thought, well, since I did the Smackin'Dragon, let me go ahead and show how I'm going to do the blank pages. So here's one for earlier. I just took some black paint on a card and smeared it on. And now I got all this wonderfulness. So now let's take what color? Maybe some, let's go with maybe some orange. All right, let's just go with some orange and yellow this time. So I'm going to put a little of the orange, a little bit of yellow. And again, what makes it work all over the whole page, because these are acrylic inks. They're going to go a long way. You don't need much, as you can see. Just put a little dab down there and spray it 2 or 3 times with water. Close the book and kind of mash it all up, and then look what you get. That's how quick you get something on the acrylic paint. So you can go from just some black scratchy acrylic paint to this. I know it doesn't look like much, but y'all that have hung around with me for all these years, there, a little bit of teal got on there from the other page. No, we can make things out of this stuff. And it just makes you be creative. It just makes you chill. You're not afraid to use the book. If you've seen the intro to my channel, the little 1-minute video, it's no fear. You know, you take a journal and you do something like this with it. Hang on. I don't want to try to talk over the heat gun too much. And the other thing about something like this is make it where it's like your creative idea. So if you see something, have a little, even if you just put it on a Post-it note, go down here and write, or, in the little areas where you have it, or another piece of paper, a Post-it note, and write down ideas that come to you, kind of like our society of idea collectors. write down what comes to you. Think about just whatever comes to your mind. Write notes, take notes, write it on the page. And then later, you don't have to, I'm not going to have completed 200 pages or however many are in here. I'm not going to have them fully flushed out, fully done. It's for ideas, sketches, doodles. It's a no fear art journal, okay, or sketchbook, whichever you want to call it. Okay, here's another where I've already just scraped on some black paint. Let's go with what colors haven't we used yet? Let's use orange, yellow, blue. Maybe let's go with some green. Let's go with some green and another shade of yellow. Let's see. I'm just going through my inks over here, picking some out. Maybe let me get another Dilutions. Let's get a Dilutions. Let's get a nice dark green in the Dilutions. And let's see. Let's go ahead and put this down first. So a little bit of kind of an orangey color. And then a couple of spritz of, okay, this one's not wanting to spritz. So let's just go ahead and do a little pour. Just a couple of drops here and there. Now, these are not waterproof. These are waterproof. So you want to keep that in mind if you're going to be doing, I don't know, depending on what materials you're going to use on top, what other kind of ink or whatever you're going to use. You want to, know what kind of base you have. So these are not waterproof. They'll reactivate, which can be a good thing. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and put some spray of water down, mush it, and then let's see what we get there. Okay. You can also take a baby wipe. Let me get that. Take a baby wipe and kind of mush into it, and you can get kind of designs. You could use stencils. I might pull out some stencils and use in here. We'll see how it goes over the weekend. And I don't care if it gets on the edges. I've already inked the edges gold. I can re-ink them after the journal is complete. Although I'm so the kind that when if I like something on a page and I see, oh, I like that sketch, I want it in this other sketchbook, I'll just rip it out and put it in another sketchbook. I'll deconstruct a sketchbook art journal in a heartbeat, but you don't have to do that. So, get your ideas going, write them down. Keep a couple of blank pages that are nothing, no color on them in the back if you want to write things. If you want to write down ideas that you have, I like to write right on the page itself. Okay, so I'm going to keep flipping here so you can kind of see the pages, some of the pages that we did. And if I see something I want to add something to, like let's just say I want more blue on this page. Let's put a little more blue. Let's put a spritz of water. Let's close it. And now we have more paint, right? Kind of got that Rorschach test thing going on here. All right, so let's draw this. This looks like an angel. Okay. And you can use it to, get a little bit out of the middle there. You can use it to do things on top of. You can collage on top of it, sketch or draw or graphite pencil on top of it. Or if you like to see things in the designs and roll with that, a combination of both. Okay, so let me get a little of the excess off there just so I can keep moving. And it needs a little bit more dry. There's a lot of girls doing the sketch a day. There's, of course, Janet's doing her scavenger hunt. But if you're doing a sketch a day, try doing something like this. It doesn't have to be a whole book. It could be a smaller book. It could be a TN journal. It could be whatever kind of small sketchbook. But if whatever you're take one of your daily sketches and try to put some kind of background like this on it and see what you can do if you sketch on top of it. You'll be surprised. You will amaze yourself. Okay, here's another one that I've already put. I've already put some black acrylic paint, and all I did is I just took my card and scraped it in different ways, knowing that, you know, you're going to put your ink on top. Let's take a little teal with this. Let's wet this one down. Okay, let's close the book. Mush it around. All right, there we go. And you don't have to keep it all symmetrical. Take it if you want to, you know, you can smear it around so it doesn't all look like, you know, a symmetrical 2-page spread. You can just kind of, you know, play with it. You can move it around. You know, it's your book. You are the boss of your sketchbook. Maybe this needs a little more. Let me add a little bit of water to my black paint over here, and let's put a few extra splatters. Splatters, you can always make something look cohesive with splatters. just splat it. You'll like it, you know, except if you're Jean. Jean doesn't like splatters. Okay, so you see here. All right, let's dry that. Got a little blob right there. So I will go ahead after I make this video. I'll post it so that you can see what I'm doing. This is early Saturday morning. So what I'll do is I'll post this just to give you an idea. And if you do a sketch on, again, you don't have to do a whole book. Do a few sheets. You know, do a couple of pages. Just take some card. Let's see, let me get a piece of cardstock here. Take a piece of cardstock and some black paint and scrape some on. Okay, you just take a piece of cardstock. Is that a little bit more? Right. It just gives you a base, right? And then take your colors. Let's do the same kind of colors here. Let's do a green and an orangey color here. Okay, let's do a little spritz. Okay, let me get, I don't have a double sheet here. Take another piece of cardstock and just mush. Do it your own little Smackin'Dragon with a new sheet. Okay, maybe a little bit more teal, a little bit more water, a little bit more Smackin'Dragon excess sheet there. Just to, then you got 2 sheets actually. So if you take this and then just play with that, play with it over. Take 1 sheet and play with it over the weekend. See what you see in it. See what you like about it. Do you like the colors? Do you want to turn this into smaller ATCs? You can turn it into an art card. You can turn it into a postcard. Sketch on it, draw on it, paint on it, collage on it. No fear. All right, so now let's come back over here. See what else we got. So you see I've already done quite a few. Scraped pages, but let me show you. Let me scrape one for you here. So all I've done here, let me get a little bit more black paint. I'm trying to do this kind of quick so we can have a shorter video so I can get to work. Okay, so now I've got some paint on here. You can scrape, you can squiggle, you can do this, you can, you know, just whatever messy you want to get on there, because you're going to put the ink on top of it, right? Make sure you dry this so before you put the ink on. Otherwise, you're just going to mix the ink with the black paint and you'll just get mud. Okay, let's see. Maybe some purple and yellow. Oh, it's not quite dry in a couple spots. Okay, let me just kind of... Okay, maybe some purple. And maybe a little bit... Let's go with a little bit of yellow, maybe. Just like that. Add a little bit of water. Close the book. Do a little mush there. And there you go. Now you got something to work on. So let's dry that. It is handy to have a heat gun so you can get a lot more pages done quickly, because you do not want to close your book when everything's wet, especially acrylic paints can make things stick if it's wet, if your black acrylic paint is not dry. And even if you're just a doodler, if all you do is doodle and take notes, like a stress reliever, I always like to... If you're watching, like I love the History Channel. If I'm watching the History Channel, it's good to have like a sketchbook or something in your lap to take notes. You just don't know if you have questions. Think about watching like any kind of thing on the History Channel. You're watching Machu Picchu or something, and they're talking about it. You might have questions like, how did they think that really happened that way? Whatever they're talking about, who said that happened that way? Write those questions down. Where did they get the idea that XYZ happened in ABC? Write those questions down. Sketch, doodle. I got to finish drying this. Take your Posca. If you have Posca pens, I love my Poscas. So I got my Poscas here. And thank you, Orla, for sending me 3 new white Poscas because I was running low on the white Poscas. So let's take a Posca. You could, if you're just, like I said, if you're just a doodler, just take and, you could do some doodles, just while you're watching TV. Don't ever have your hands not busy. You don't need to not have your hands busy. Well, of course, if you're reading a novel or something, you're good, but just if you're watching something and you don't know what to write about or, question about, just start doodling on the page. And then when something comes to you, the best kind of pen to use on top of something like this is just your plain old Bic pen. Okay, just a plain old Bic pen will write on top of just about anything. Okay, a plain Bic pen. And Posca is, paint, and it's a paint pen. So, you're going paint on paint, which will work as well. But, just whatever you want to just doodle, write notes, questions, bullet journal, some questions. If you're watching a show, put the name of the show, the date, just like this. It doesn't have to be nothing. Everything doesn't have to be beautiful and pretty and complete and finished. And then let's say you have a little piece. Okay, here, let's see. I'll just pull one of my calendars here. So here's a Japanese woodcut print. If you're watching something on birds, maybe you want to, you can take a little bit of collage. You could collage some of this in here, It doesn't have to be, everything doesn't have to be, let's see, I'm just looking at what looks balanced to me. You can just take a little bit of bird. We're going to take one bird. Take one bird and a little bit of, glue it down, doodle around it, paint it around it, outline it, write about it, journal about it. Okay, so, and then here's one of the Smackin'Dragons we did earlier. So not all the pages are going to be black based, because then if you do want to do, say, a sketch of a face, you need a little bit more real estate, or, you have to do it kind of small in areas where there's room to do it. Okay, so here again, I'm going to take just, and it can be thicker, it can be dark, more covered. So So I'll do a couple more, and then I'll flip through so far what we have in the book. And also the other thing that I always recommend is if you're working in an art journal like this, or a magazine journal or any kind of full-on painty, wet, spray, inky journal, you want to do some in the front, some in the back, some in the middle, some in the front, some in the back, some in the middle. Otherwise, your spine will warp. Your spine will start to warp if you don't. Okay, let's do this real quick. So this will be about 30 minutes. If time flies, guys, I get talking about all the techniques and details, and time flies. Said there's no such thing as a 10-minute video for me, unless I'm doing it on my phone and we're out metal detecting or something. But just for something like this. Okay, so let me just go ahead and get rid of that excess wet paint up here. And let's see what color maybe. We did red and teal. Let's see. Let's do, oh no, I have every color. I don't know why I'm just using these right here. Here's an olive green. Here's an olive green. I have to shake this one up. I haven't used it. Wow. Let's go with maybe an olive green. Oh, an olive green, and maybe a yellow or orangey color. And maybe just a touch of red, like maybe kind of like fall colors or something there. Okay, let's spray. Okay, let's mush. And there you go. The green needs to be a little wetter. So let's just go ahead and wet the whole outside edge here. Let's get it all covered. I'll take a little bit more of that olive green, go around the edges. There you go. All right, so let's dry that. And again, if you don't want to do a whole book, do some small, do a piece of cardstock, and you can cut this up, make, smaller art cards, little sketches on them, little collages. It's just a little bit of creativity where you're using your ideas that may just come to you and just write them down. Just write them down so you don't forget them. Okay, so here we go. Then we can splatter, we can drip, we can, let's take a little bit of splatter here. Let's do a little more splattering. Whoops, that's a big blobby splatter. Let's get that blob of paint out. And, even if you just want to practice color combinations, if you do this, you go, oh man, I'm going to write those 3 colors down because I don't want to forget those colors. I really like that color combination. Okay, let me just kind of blob that up because I don't want a drip. These spots, they're a little thicker, and they can dry your book and tear your pages. Okay, so let's just do a flip through. So you can see here, all the pages that are blank, I'm going to go in here and smear with black paint as a base. And then these that are not, I'll leave like this so I can sketch or draw or idea journal, bullet journal, whatever. But all the white pages, I'm going to smear with black paint and then throw the acrylic ink on top of. So you can see here, I'm going to flip through this real quick, the work that I have to do on the blank pages, because that's what I'm going to do first. And like I said, it'll probably take me a couple hours. Here's the one we did on Wednesday. But I didn't like the hat because his hat was covering up his head there. So let's just block that little hat in. So we just did a little sketch here, did a little quote, Groucho Marx, outside of a book. Outside of a dog, a book is a man's best friend. Inside of a dog, it's too dark to read. I love that quote. So, yeah, somebody said he kind of looked like Groucho. So, I just did a little, again, this is just with ballpoint pen. And you can take your Posca, though, and you can, just play and doodle. Yeah, so just, whatever. You can just play. Okay, so I got all these blank pages to ink up. This was right at the end, and so I have about 10 pages right in the middle that we didn't finish. So they're going to have a lot of black and ink on them. Then here's some more of the Smackin'Dragon. So let me just flip through this, and I hope this gave you some weekend inspiration. This is about as quick as I can do a video, 30 minutes. And let's flip quick here. You can always go back and add more paint, more ink, sketch, doodle, draw. And that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to keep this with me after I finish these blank pages. I'm going to try to keep this with me all day or all weekend because we, like I said, there's the race this weekend. You can barely get out of our subdivision. And I'm going to keep my ballpoint pen with me. And then if I decide I want to do something else, I can always get a pencil out too. But I'm going to just essentially keep the ballpoint pen with me. Maybe that and a Posca, keep a white Posca and a ballpoint pen. And then I'll just see what happens. I may or may not do a weekend, another update on this, or I just might show you guys on Monday what we did with it. And so there is my Smackin'Dragon inky art journal / sketchbook. And I hope y'all enjoyed this quick 30 minutes. Dang, it's quick. Okay, guys, you have a great weekend, and we'll see if, see what part 2 happens. Have a good one.